Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Clock Sports, man. Um, Before I start this, I wanna say congratulations to the Dallas for making the finals, and congratulations to Kyrie for proving the whole world wrong because the whole world want to see him fail. The whole world want to see him bleed, and Kyrie showed that putting him in the right organization that gotta look out for him. He'll be he'll be he'll play his best basketball. He play the best basketball that mankind can possess, man. I mean, the way he was poised, he assists Luka every single way because without Kyrie contribution, they wouldn't make it to the finals. Everybody knows that. But also, we're not gonna sit here and say the trade that made PJ Washington, Godford, and the rest of the crew, and pick up the Derrick Jones Jr. All these dudes making a contribution of make them get to the finals. But this video is really about Kyrie because Kyrie has been collecting a trade shade for a long time now. People have been talking trash about Kyrie for the past 2-3 years. They've been saying Kyrie's a cancer, Kyrie's this, Kyrie's that. We all know, man, even Jesus Christ himself got killed for telling the truth. Even Jesus Christ himself was criticized, penalized, destroying, beat on, spit on, got whipped. So right now, Kyrie is really proving that everything he went through with the media. But before I went to Kyrie, let me just say this. We all know ESPN doesn't, they don't cover basketball. They cover narrative. What's popping, what's hot, what's new, what's going on. That's what they cover. They don't cover basketball. Because if you cover basketball, you cannot tell me Kyrie is not one of the best players out there. Always has been, always will be. Every time I watch Kyrie playing basketball, man, I just can't believe it. But let's listen to some of the cap these players talking about.
One place to look. Luka going off. First quarter, Kevin Harlan.
There's another heat check from Luka. Magic again at another three. He's a flamethrower. He is on fire. 20 points. Don, Luka Doncic putting on an absolute shooting clinic here in this first quarter.
Finished 6 of 10 from 3 last night. 20 points in the first quarter in the game.
By the way, congratulations to Luka for winning the Magic Johnson Western Conference Final MVP. Well deserved, well earned, well everything. But brothers, I want you guys look at this class they're in. These guys in the class of Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. For those who doesn't know, Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, they were a problem. Them two themselves was scoring 30 plus points in the finals against Bill Russell. If it wasn't for Bill Russell, who was ahead of them, they would have won a championship. They would have won multiple championships because that duo was such a lethal duo, and even now people are still talking about them. That's just to show you like how well Jerry West was playing basketball back in the day. But let's see what they're talking about.
It was never a game. And Luka and Kyrie put a stamp on this game last night of historic proportion. They're the second duo to each score at least 35 in a game where their team clinches a trip to the finals. And you see the other to do it was Elgin Baylor and Jerry West in 1962 for the Lakers. So an unbelievable performance for these two guys last night. And I did not catch who that was. Who's not with us now? We're having some trouble with some people. Okay, that's Perk, who we don't have with us. So let me go then to Monica, because you chatted after the game last night with Kyrie, and we saw a little bit of that interview. Luka's going to get a lot of the primary attention this morning, but Kyrie, when they needed him, was equally brilliant last night. What do we see from him?
Man, Green, obviously having the chance to sit with you guys and talk through these conference finals, Kyrie's understanding of his role and how to support Luka, what this team needs. I had a chance to talk with some Dallas folks earlier today at shoot around. He's got a handshake with everybody. So it's not just the basketball of it all. It is the maturity. It is the leadership. We heard Luka tell him earlier in the series, you're supposed to be exhausted at this point in competition, trying to get to the finals. And so I just think the way that he compliments Luka and he compliments this roster, because without the trades, y'all, like as excited as we are about this group, without the Gafford and the Washington trade, I don't know if this team would be here, and I think Dallas would acknowledge that as well. But Kyrie's understanding of what this team needs and when they need it, he talked about accountability after Game 4, and he showed up and gave all of that in Game 5.
And with that thought in mind, Monica, just quickly shout out our buddy Tim Legler, who came on this show the morning after that trade and said, I could see the Mavericks going to the finals with this.
I mean, that's the same thing for me. I said the same thing with a buddy of mine. I was like, I can see this team go to the finals, and I can also see this team get knocked off in the first round. The way they were playing from the first round when they played the Clippers, and I knew this team was gonna be different because now the Clippers didn't have Kawhi out there. That's number one, and number two, they have a bucket getter, which is Kyrie Irving. Most of the time they were losing because most of the players they had couldn't contribute. But Kyrie closed all that. Plus, Kyrie had the experience of being to multiple finals, hitting the tough shots. Had played well in the playoff, had done well for basketball in the playoff. So it's like Kyrie kind of like close out all the doubt that Luka may have, man. It's just beautiful to see. If Kyrie win a championship, it's a lot of people gonna feel some type of way, man, because that will be the biggest middle finger to the league, middle finger to Nike, middle finger to all the people that's been talking mad stuff about Kyrie, man. You can't say nothing but respect. Now, I'm not saying he's in the same way with Isaiah and the rest of them, no. But if you win a championship, bro, you gotta respect that.
Immediately identified those players as being critical to what they could do. That said, Big Perk, let's talk about Kyrie. You and I have had so many conversations over the years on this show, on Countdown, and others about Kyrie Irving. It's been such a fast.
No, Greenberg. You don't have no conversation. You went to a tear down tour. You went to a badge Kyrie tour. Conversation would be like, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't say that. But you guys went on. You guys on this network started from Stephen A. Snitch to everybody else. Y'all went to a tour that tear down this man. Say he should be retired. Say he a team cancer. Say he's a liability. He's not an asset. Say you don't deserve to be top 75. Y'all went on to tear that dude down to the shred. Now he's showing you guys that if you put me in the right spot, if you put me in a place where all I have to worry about is basketball, put my mind at ease, pay me, and let me play basketball, and he gonna show you. He's 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 there. Now, I was a little bit upset at him because he didn't take the jab. Yeah, but I realized that that would be a that would be me. That would be a that would be me being a hypocrite because I didn't take the jab. I didn't want to take the jab. So I realized I had to take my feeling of it and say, man, I want you to win a championship, but if you got to put your body into it, if you got to take the jab just to win the championship, don't do it. So I become I take peace with that.
Fascinating roller coaster ride for him over the years. How about what he has done in this postseason?
Well, Granny, you ready for this conversation?
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving, what he's done this season and in the postseason, guess what? He got a lot of people waking up, looking themselves in the mirror, go and get a cup of coffee and a box of Newport shorts because they need it right now. Because we have answers. We need answers to a lot of questions right now.
Facts.
Why is Kyrie Irving not on the Olympic team? Why is Kyrie Irving not a top 75 greatest player of all time? These are legit.
We all know why he's not a top 75. He's not a top 75 because he played with certain dude from Akron. That's why he's not top 75. Because somebody got to tell me how you hit the biggest shot in NBA history and you're not a top 75 of all time. Because he should have been there. His resume alone. Because if we're gonna put Damian Lillard, who have not done anything in his whole career, except for hit some big shot in the first round, Kyrie deserved to be there because he hit it when it mattered the most, which is NBA Final, Game 7, every lights in the world watching. So if it's anything, Kyrie Irving deserves it way more. The fact that Kyrie is not top 75, the fact that Kyrie is not part of an Olympic team, the fact that Kyrie is not being getting bashed by certain mistakes that he made. Yeah, he made mistakes. We all make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect here. Jesus was on earth. Jesus got tired just like everybody else. Jesus was making mistakes just like everybody else. You want to know why? Because you're on earth. You are a human being. You're on flesh. You will make mistakes. Mistakes will happen. But when you got guys like Stephen A. Snitch who's talking mad stuff, so-and-so should do this, so-and-so should... Who are you? What have you done? Where did you play at? What team did you put in your back to win a championship? Those are the questions that people should be asking. Because for many years when I come to this country, I thought Stephen A. Snitch was a player. And when I went on and look at his record, how you average 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and then talking like you invented basketball. Oh, you don't want to make an enemy out of me. Me and Kyrie, this is personal. How you and Kyrie is personal when you're older than him? First of all, you're older than him. Secondly, you don't want to come out and bash him every single day. That's number 2. Number 3, when his dad come and check you, that's when you say it's personal. Everyone in the world knew that was personal between you and him because you keep attacking this man's character every single day. For what? Then you turn around and say they shouldn't pay him. If they're going to pay him, they should pay him 1 year. Which is not how basketball work in the NBA. If you want the max, if you earn the max, you're going to get the max. Simple as that. And this is why people like Stephen A. Smith should never be talking about the game. saying this man is a team cancer. He's a liability. He's this, he's that.
Questions. We're talking about a guy for his career that's averaging close to 24 points a game, almost 6 assists and 4 rebounds. For his career this year, his numbers in the regular season were similar to Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was an all-NBA player, made the all-NBA second team. So when we're thinking about Kyrie Irving and what he's doing right now, look, his leadership has been outstanding for the Dallas Mavericks. It's the reason that they're here. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of questions that need to be answered when you talk about Kyrie Irving, the basketball player, and not what Kyrie Irving done outside the court.
Well, that's the point, Alan, right? Like this is the player that we've sort of been begging to see. Yeah, that we have forgotten essentially since Cleveland.
No, we didn't forget about him. Y'all bash him so much to the point that y'all forgot about him. The real hooper, the people that watch basketball, the people that cover the game, the people that know about the game, they know Kyrie is one of them. Kyrie's so lethal that he can shoot the ball anywhere on the court. He can post you up. He can score in so many levels to the point that even the player y'all putting on top 7, some of these players y'all put on top 75 cannot touch Kyrie's shoes. Some of them cannot touch Kyrie's shoes, bro. So what are we talking about? You forgot about him. And who are you? They should be forgot about you because you trash.
Yeah, and that's why, Perk, I mean, we can't rewrite like what last year was for him and the year before that was for him. You know, that stuff is still there, and that's why decisions were made about him. I mean, what he's doing right now is laundering his legacy by making it, again, about basketball and reminding us the brilliance, of course, that he has on the court. But there were a lot of other things that were going on with him beyond basketball. That's why USA Basketball would probably say, you know, this is a guy we're going to have to do without right now. Everybody acknowledges, and we always have, what a great player he is. But the other stuff was a big part.
What other stuff? Because he didn't want to take the jab? Because he went on, what? Because he said something about the Jews. He got suspended for that. And then the New York mandate, he didn't want to take the jab. How are you going to tell a grown man what to do with his own body? This is the land of the free. This is the America, right? How are you going to tell somebody, hey, you should do this, you should do that? And before that, things was happening in his life. So before we start judging, why don't we try to find a way to understand what the person was dealing with before we start grabbing here, grabbing there just for clickbait? Because I know that's what y'all do. Y'all looking for clickbait. Y'all not covering sports. Y'all just doing things for the clickbait. The same thing some of these YouTubers are doing. You know what I'm saying? So you forgot about him. And the world didn't forget about Kyrie. Kyrie got a huge fans in Asia, China, Indonesia. Most of those countries love Kyrie. They buy Kyrie jerseys. They buy Kyrie shoes. Kyrie is very popular all over the world, man. All over. If you're talking about 10 players, there's nobody gonna name 10 players without naming Kyrie Irving. That's a fact.
Part of the conversation, maybe way too much of the conversation in his time in Brooklyn, and a little bit, of course, of his ending time in Boston. But his fit with Luka is fantastic, and you give him a ton of credit, but you also give Jason Kidd a ton of credit, Nico Harrison a ton of credit for making all this work. Go ahead, Bart.
Well, Alan, look, my grandpa always used to tell me, it's your side of the story, their side of the story, and then it's the truth, okay? Facts. It's the truth that lies in the middle. And the fact of the matter is that we've heard a lot of people's side of the story, but we've never heard Kyrie Irving's side of the story when it comes down to his situation.
But I usually don't agree with anything you have to say, but right now, you cooking. Stay on their neck. Stay on their throat. you're cooking right now. We heard a lot of stuff from the organization. We should, for what we know, Brooklyn was a Brooklyn was a Brooklyn was a hell show. That organization was a ass show, man. So they didn't want to pay Kyrie. You shouldn't be somewhere they don't want you. And besides that, this is the organization word we listen to. The Kyrie have not said anything about what happened. And I'm sure one day he will sit down and talk about it. And to further prove that they needed Kyrie, where are they at now? They're at home. They didn't even make the play in. Meanwhile, Dallas, Kyrie elevated that team, and now they're back to the final. It's been what? Last time Dallas was in the final was 2011, 13 years ago. So it is not only Kyrie elevate these two mentally, not only Kyrie leading this team, and Luka, they elevate them, they make history. Last time they were in the final was 13 years ago. Last time they went to the Western Conference was like, what, 3 years ago? 2 years ago. So, say whatever you want to say about Kyrie Irving. He's showing you, if you put the right pieces, put me somewhere with my mind in ease, all I have to do is worry about basketball. I can get things done.
Being with the Brooklyn Nets. But outside of all that, when you're talking about things like the Olympic team or top 75 greatest of all time, that had nothing to do with the past 2 years. Like, Kyrie Irving is already labeled, in some eyes, a lot of player eyes, the most skilled player to ever touch the damn basketball. That never went anywhere. So at the end of the day, we're talking about the basketball player and what he brings on the basketball court. I mean, we got questions. We got questions. I need answers.
So that's
The win man always has the answers. What are they, Wendy? What are the right things to say about Kyrie right now?
Well, this is the undercurrent of this finals, because what you're seeing is the Kyrie Irving at age 32 being a much more well-rounded, better understanding player versus the Kyrie Irving when he was 27, when he came to Boston, thinking that was going to be his team, thinking that was going to be his future. That's what he wanted away from LeBron, and he handled it very poorly. He did not nurture the players that were younger than him. He did.
If you're going to talk about when he went away from LeBron, tell the people the truth why he went away from LeBron. He went away from LeBron because LeBron was trying to trade him. He went to Boston? Yes, he did. The 2 years, the first year he got there, he led this team to relevancy. So he got injured. They were having a great season. You know, he had to adjust his game when the white dude got injured. Then he adjusted his game and lead this team by 12 to 13 games, 15 games left in the regular season. He got injured. And then Boston just went into a run. And, you know, the rest was history. But that's not acting like Kyrie was not leading those dudes. The problem, what happened was the next year, they acting like they didn't need Kyrie because they went to the Eastern Conference. They went Glock for Glock with LeBron. They act like they didn't need Kyrie. And which, then the whole thing exploded. You know, everybody acting like that. They the leader. You got Tatum acting like that's his team, and Brown acting like that's his team. Everybody was acting like that's their team. So Kyrie said, all right, cool. I'm packing my bag. I go to New Jersey.
Not nurture he sort of berated Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and then he handled going back there, the breakup, you know, very immaturely. He's stepping on the logo at center court, and you know, doing all these types of.
What they got to do with anything? Dude, were you there in the locker room? Were you there in Boston day to day? Were you there when in the locker room and to see how they were acting with each other, how the teammates, what the player feel against Kyrie. Were you there? You weren't there. So why are you acting like you were? You only going by what you saw. It's really deeper than that, honestly. So
things, and that resulted in a lot of animus that was sometimes unfair to him, but was a result of how he treated it. What he's done with Luka is a product of what happened when he didn't find that bond with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
And I just had that utmost confidence when I was going to sleep last night, waking up and shooting around like I said, and just feeling like we were going to play one of our best games.
Let me just say this, man. Luka was phenomenal. Luka started this game and shooting from the logo, man. And once he started doing that, and then he put the defense on his heel, I'm like, yep, this is gonna be a long, long night. But anyway, man, this is where I conclude this video, man. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. Shout out to prove the whole world wrong. Shout out to Kyrie Irving to being only an absolutely standout player, but also prove the world that he's not a cancer. Prove the world he's not a liability. He's an asset. And for them to win against Boston, they're gonna have to go all out. They're gonna have to go all out. Luka gonna have to play his best game. The role players have to play great. They cannot depend. They should not. If I'm Kid, do not depend on the referees. The referees is not gonna help you in this series. So get whatever you're trying to do, get it done early, fast and early. All right, peace.